Did you know that there's a version of Preordain which surveils and has Jumpstart for only one more mana? I bet you didn't. Why? Because it's from Doctor Who. God damn it, I'm back here again! Start the TARDIS is a 2-mana blue sorcery with Jumpstart, which surveils 2 and then draws a card. And then allows you to planeswalk. Planechase, my beloved, you were a mistake. Since we're not analysing this card through the lens of Planechase, I'm going to ignore that particular bit of text and just look at the normal game parts of the card. Just know that being able to guarantee a planeswalk is pretty strong in that format. But right, now that the fake card text is out of the way, this thing is really good. As the player base as a whole have recently found out with the MKM lands, Surveil is notably stronger than Scry, as it allows for graveyard setups and card selection in one fell swoop, with higher values of Surveil only making that truer. Add on to that the fact that this card has Jumpstart, allowing it to function as a way to either cycle dead cards or discard cards you want in the graveyard, both while fixing the top of your library and enabling graveyard setups, and you get a deceptively powerful utility piece in a neat 2-mana package. That being said, this isn't the be-all end-all of cantrips. Realistically, that's Brainstorm, and this card is not Brainstorm. The fact that it's both 2-mana and sorcery speed are notable downsides. A lot of the most played cantrips are only 1 mana, and while a good chunk of cantrips are only sorcery speed, there are a decent number that are made far more relevant by the fact that they are instant speed, i.e. opt and consider. And yet, I think that this should be considered among that higher tier of cantrips. Not the trifecta of Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, but that second row down, the one with the opts and the considers of the game. Consider is actually quite a good comparison with Start, as while Consider is probably the better card, being 1 mana and instant speed, Start the TARDIS is in essence a slightly more costly but more pushed version of Consider, doubling the amount surveilled and being able to be cast again. And can you really tell me that Serum Visions is better than this? Really? And if so, if you think that the 1 mana less is worth the far worse card selection and the lack of Jumpstart, can you tell me that it's so much better that it deserves to be in 127,000 more decks than Start the TARDIS? Again, really? And here's the thing, Serum Visions is good. Really good. But I think that Start is better, and deserving of far more than the not even 6,000 decks that it currently sees play in. And I've only been comparing it to other cantrips in a vacuum, but in a practical sense, Start the TARDIS has even more going for it. A cantrip's best home is Spellslinger, and sure, the 2-mana cost is notable in a vacuum, but it's a rare day that the Spells pilot doesn't have a Goblin Electromancer or Stormcatch Mentor on field. Also, dumping cards to grave may not sound like a good idea in Spellslinger, but you'll be surprised at the amount of grave synergies in these kind of decks, between commanders like Eris, Octavia, and Kess, and big grave-focused game-ender spells like Past in Flames and Mizzix's Mastery. Also, who said this has to be in Spellslinger? This thing is wonderful in blue-inclusive grave decks, for example. I have it in my Sauron the Dark Lord Reanimator list, and it does work. Of course, this is also a house in your Surveil-focused decks like Mirko and Matoya, your second spell matters decks like Taigarm and Jorien, your second draw matters decks like the Council of Four. Basically, if your deck likes drawing cards, casting spells, or grave shenanigans, then Start the TARDIS is at least worth a once-over. Realistically, I know why this card doesn't see play. It's from Who, which was already an unpopular set, and then it had a Planechase mechanic on it, which made people's brains turn off and disregard this as set mechanic filler trash. But if you're willing to look past all that and give this card a chance, you definitely won't be disappointed.